What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Zamboni. I'm a musician and astrologer, and it is time to talk about the astrology of the week ahead. As always, I thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for rocking with me week after week, day after day. I've been doing these forecasts for a long time, and I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for watching this video to the end and sending it to a friend. Thank you for hitting up my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. That is so helpful. That is so helpful. If you send me $2 or something like that, it is so helpful to me. I really can't stress how very helpful that is. If you want some timing tips about your like when to launch your product or when to schedule a date for or something like this, I have an electional report, which is really nice for that. You can find that on patreon.com/ZamboniFunk. If you want to listen to the music, Spotify, Tidal, Pandora, Apple Music, send your boy a couple of streams or something like that. I super appreciate that as well. I think you'll enjoy it as well. There's a video on YouTube called Zamboni Funk Live at the Funky Slug. I'm super proud of that as well. The really nice music. Thank you for checking those things out. Let's talk about the astrology of the week ahead. So this week we've got some pretty important changes here going on, I would say. So the first of these is that Mars is going to move out of Leo into Virgo. So for a while, Mars has been hanging out in Leo with Venus, right? And that has been real cute on the Mars things. Maybe kind of a little lazy or something like this, but like nice, you know? Mars can get a little angry sometimes, right? That's Mars's job, is to be angry and irritated. But to have Venus there, like smoothing things out, has been nice on the Mars things. So Mars moving into Virgo is a very different situation. This is going to put Mars into opposition with Saturn. Now, I do like to see Mars in Virgo, honestly. And Mars is in good position here. This is going to put Mars under a trine from Jupiter. This is going to also put Mars under a trine from Uranus in Virgo, or Uranus in Taurus. So both Jupiter and Uranus are in Taurus right now, and those make a trine to Virgo. Also, Virgo is a sign where Mars can get some shit done, and that's what Mars likes to do. Mars likes to handle business, to do things, to act and sort of like make something happen. Virgo has an eye for shit that's fucked up, and then will go straight to that thing and work on it and fix it. Like, it's a little bit like, have you ever met or seen a gardener who like loves to be out in nature or loves to be outside or something like that, but then can't really enjoy themselves because they noticed that the bed isn't quite right, and I just need to and so before you know it, like, you've spent 3 hours working and you were like trying to chill. That's kind of how Virgo gets down. And so to put Mars into that space, Mars is the action planet, right? So Mars does really well in Virgo. I sometimes think about Virgo as being like a closeted malefic sign. Like, it is like neither Venus nor Jupiter particularly likes it there in Virgo, and so like the benefics don't really like it there. I also think that Mars and Saturn really kind of thrive in that environment, in that sort of particular and detail oriented and analytical space. They do well in that space, so that's really cool. So to see Mars moving into Virgo here looks pretty good for the Mars things. Now, it does put Mars into this opposition with Saturn. So, you know, so Saturn honestly has been kind of chilling in Pisces, you know, like, and so if you've got the ascendant at 3 degrees of Pisces or something like that, then you probably don't feel like Saturn has been chilling. You probably feel like, yo, fuck this Saturn, right? But generally, Saturn has not had any difficult aspects going on. It's been just Saturn kind of chilling, doing Saturn things and hanging out, right? Saturn has been in a sextile to Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter also rules that Pisces, so that's with reception there. And so like that has been supportive to Saturn things for the last, I don't know, 2 months or something like this. Saturn's been kind of hanging out, just doing Saturn stuff, right? To see Mars moving into Virgo and then beginning this opposition with Saturn. Now, so that opposition actually isn't going to perfect until next week. So we'll talk about this some more next week. But Mars moving into Virgo and immediately beginning this opposition, and Saturn is also retrograde, so it's a mutually applying opposition. So to see that looks contentious for sure. It looks like a situation where the Saturn things So where we're thinking about Saturn, we can think about organizations, we can think about structures, we can think about boundaries and discipline, we can think about maturity, we can think about, like, one of my favorite ways to think about Saturn is like as the mama who tells you no, you put them shoes back, ain't nobody say you could put that in the cart, like that kind of thing, right? It's Saturn's job to say no to things, right? And to do it in a kind of like authoritative sort of way, right? So that's Saturn's sphere. Also, Saturn rules 2 houses in your chart. So like wherever that is in your chart, wherever you've got Capricorn and Aquarius, the themes associated with those houses also are under Saturn's purview. So those things which have up to this point had a nice complementary sextile from Jupiter, which wants things to grow and flourish and this sort of thing, those things are going to run up into some Mars style irritation, Virgo anxiety. We might see some like overthinking going on. We might see some like heat or some trouble, some kind of like fight might want to take place here. Mars also for a little while has been feeling himself, right? So we saw Mars, while Mars was in Leo, we saw a square to Uranus in Taurus. So that was probably like chaotic, or things will like kind of want to blow up a little bit, something like this. And Mars was just like, yeah, we doing it. We pushing forward, right? Had Venus by his side. Now, what Mars didn't necessarily realize in that moment is that Venus was going to turn around and is not going to follow Mars into Virgo, but rather is going to go back and do this whole retrograde thing, right? But so Mars is just like in great position, and so then Mars moves into Virgo and is under this trine from Jupiter, feeling like strong and like I can do this, and then sees that Saturn and is like, yo, fuck that guy. So I would expect this week some kind of like contentious things around the nature of authority, and especially since we've got Pluto back into Capricorn at this point, some like power dynamics and how power functions and how structure and hierarchy function, how like the financial system works and all this kind of thing. Like this feels like a moment where underdogs are going to be in position to mess with authorities in some kind of way. Saturn probably isn't going to like this very much. Mars also probably isn't going to like it very much, but like, Mars kind of likes a fight a little bit. So this does look like, even though it is it looks like delays or obstacles or difficulties when it comes to doing the Mars things, sometimes that's what you need. If we think about Mars as being like an athlete or something like this, then like it's important for you to do difficult things so that you become stronger and more able to do more difficult things, right? So this looks like a really good time for Mars to get on point and to do the Mars things. I haven't even mentioned the other thing this week. So Mercury is going to move into Leo this week. That's Mercury moving out of Cancer and moving into Leo. So Mercury is the planet of communications and all the trans things, transportation and transition and transfer, and like, so there's this like in between space that Mercury occupies, right? Mercury is moving quickly at this point. We've already had the forward Cazimi with the sun. That was last week, was it? And so Mercury is like hitting it at this point. So Mercury doesn't really have essential dignity in Leo, but Mercury out of a water sign looks like an improvement, and Mercury moving quickly, definitely, like, this looks like a good situation as far as the Mercury stuff is concerned. This looks like a good time to maybe check out a marketing campaign or something like this. Like, this looks like a good time to move forward, especially on the Mercury things, whatever those are. Mercury has dried out a little bit. So Mercury in a water sign often, like, which is Cancer, like this past little while, Mercury has been in Cancer. So it's been, Mercury under the water makes it difficult to communicate. It's very good for introspection and for like listening and understanding and feeling things. Unverified personal gnosis, this sort of stuff likes to come up a lot. Mars into Leo, this is much more outwardly focused. This is much more expressive. This is a really good time to say your piece, to like put some kind of transmission out there. That's another good trans word. Like, so all like getting it out there, being who you are. Now, of course, Mercury in Leo is still going to be ruled by the sun, and the sun is still in Cancer. But, you know, there's still a lot of potential there for the Mercury things. I've got high hopes for Mercury this week. I'm out of time here. Thank you so much for being here with me. I just appreciate y'all so much. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.